In our news bulletin for this evening, our community is in shock as they come to terms with one death following a motor vehicle accident today. Niue police removed the passport from an individual facing charges, and a special court hearing was held to allow him to travel last Saturday. Niue encourages youth participation in farming as part of a 3-year project to build capacity in resilient agriculture. The local judiciary go through training to strengthen the capacity of the court systems on the island. A fatal accident in the early hours of this morning has left the community of Hakupu in shock following the passing of a middle-aged man. It is alleged that there were 3 people in the vehicle that went off the road in between Alofi and Hakupu. It is understood that the driver and another passenger were taken to the Niue hospital, but we could not get confirmation of the seriousness of their condition. Niue Police has voiced disappointment over the number of motor vehicle accidents that they've had to investigate lately. Today, police were kept busy with 3 vehicle accidents that occurred in the morning, one in between Alofi and Hakupu, another one in Toi, but the driver of that vehicle did not sustain any injuries, and another accident in front of a residential home past Toa heading towards Tangotonga. Chief of Police Tony Edwards says that the police can only do so much to strengthen strategies and processes to deter people from drink driving and speeding, but people need to take responsibility for their actions and decisions. Chief Edwards says that the police department has carried out various public campaigns, but it appears to have fallen on deaf ears, and this time it has resulted in the loss of an innocent life. This unfortunate tragedy brings to light a matter that the department believes could have been preventable if people take time to think before they act. Niue police are continuing with their investigations into these accidents, but it is suspected that alcohol and speed could have been contributing factors. A special hearing was held at the Justice Department last Saturday for an individual who police had prohibited from leaving the island. It is understood that the person is facing criminal charges and due to appear before the local courts this month, and police removed his travel documentation while on bail. This decision was challenged by legal counsel, who made an application for his client to be allowed to travel.
It was an urgent matter. They first came to me on Friday, it wasn't any time to make a proper inquiry, but they prepared an application to the court for the police to return his passport. Unbeknown to me, they already have a hearing, this person was on bail to reappear before the court on a certain date. But the bail conditions did not include him surrendering his passport or preventing him from travel overseas. So the police have no authority to take anybody's travel documents. It's only the court has that authority. If they need that, they should apply to the court for an order for the person to surrender his passport to the police.
Chief of Police Tony Edwards said that this person had failed to inform them of his intentions to leave, and they declined the initial application for travel on the basis that he was due to appear before the courts next week on some serious charges. This is not the first time Niue police have restricted travel in these matters or removed travel documentation, but the department is looking at improving the processes that are in place. The special hearing was held urgently to allow this person to travel on Saturday's flight, but with strict orders from the court.
The order given by the commissioner was to return the person's passport, and he was allowed to travel last Saturday, and for him to return on a certain date for a hearing before the court on the charges that he's facing. He should return. It's not very good when the police come and arrest you and return you to Niue. It's better to voluntarily return to Niue and face and probably defend your case or appear before the court. But it's not a good thing to ignore an order from the court.
The next local court date is set for the 10th of March, but this particular case could be referred to the court hearing on the 14th of April to give this person and his legal counsel time to prepare a case. The Niue Island Organic Farming Association on the island is looking at ways to encourage youth involvement in agriculture as part of a 3-year project funded by IFAD. Niue is one of 3 countries that has been selected to pilot the capacity building for resilient agriculture in the Pacific project, and 2 of Poet.com's consultants, Karen Mapusua and Stephen Hazelman, have been on the island this week in discussions with key stakeholders like the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, the Chamber of Commerce, the New Zealand High Commission and locals. A workshop was organised for young people yesterday to generate interest and inform them of the exciting opportunities this project will help to build climate resilience in food systems and why it is important to engage young people in agribusiness.
The focus on young people is really important across the Pacific, actually across the world. The farming population is ageing, so young people generally aren't seeing agriculture as a career option. If we want to eat in the future, we need to have younger farmers. So finding things that will attract young people back into the agriculture sector, not just as growers, but also those who add value or who do the marketing, all those things that are part of agribusiness are why young people are so important. It's also important because from the climate change perspective, we are really vulnerable in the Pacific Islands, and the predictions are there'll be stronger cyclones and more of them, longer dry spells and droughts. So having strong food systems based around organics can help us prepare for that as well and help us be more food secure. But I think one of the differences around this project is that we really want the areas of focus, so what crops that we select or what agribusinesses we look at developing, should be driven by young people. Always everyone has ideas about things, but we're only going to get people actually actively engaged in a business if it's something that they believe in and is important to them.
Karen says that the central focus of the project is to get young people involved, and that one way to achieve this goal is to look at the technology and how young people communicate, by getting their views and perspectives that will help mold what Niue's project activities or programs could involve.
The opportunities are, I think, mainly in 2 areas. The first area is in helping preserve Niue's environment. This is my first time in Niue and it's beautiful. Maintaining the forests and protecting your water is key. And agriculture can either be really damaging to those things or it can really enhance them. And organics has that potential to really enhance and improve those things. And the other is to help develop the business environment and give young people in Niue more opportunities and more ideas about what can be done here at home to contribute to the development of your country.
The project will end in 2017, and the hope is that the agriculture sector will be resilient to the various changes and young people will be able to help build a vibrant economy in Niue through agribusiness. Members of the local judiciary have been in training at the USP Centre this week to build their capacity to carry out their positions within the judicial system. The 2-part upskilling training workshop, part of the Pacific Judicial Development Program, that focuses on providing support to promote the rule of law and strengthen the capacity of courts across the Pacific. Niue is one of 14 Pacific Islands that the PJDP program provides support to. Deputy Registrar and National Coordinator at the Justice Department, Darren Talvaka, said that the workshops this week were specifically developed for the local judiciary, as well as some representatives from the Niue Police Department, Crown Law and other divisions that are also involved in court proceedings. He says that they have new land commissioners, and it also serves as a reminder for the justices of the peace as well as commissioners in the civil and criminal courts what is expected of them in their roles to make judicial decisions. An expert trainer from the PJDP program, Farini Enokapuni, with the assistance of local trainers, was able to deliver the 1-week program that was divided into 2 parts. And for the first 3 days, the orientation program designed for new commissioners of the Land Division, and the final 2 days were for judicial developments targeted at commissioners, justices of the peace, in the criminal and civil division. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Don't forget that the Niue Business Awards will be held this Saturday at the scenic Matawai Resort. All the best to those businesses that have been nominated.